Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people who are not in love with their partner but stayed. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I'm in a relationship for the last 14 years and what I have to say is love is amorphous. It changes what it is and is hard to pinpoint sometimes. Sometimes you will be mad at each other. Sometimes you will share laughter and smiles and hugs and kisses. Sometimes you will be underwhelmed. Sometimes you will be bored. Sometimes you will be full of pride and appreciation. Other times you will take them for granted. Sometimes the sex will be great, other times samey. But life goes on. Can anyone truly say they're in love constantly and without interruption always? Or is it something that ebbs and flows? I think the latter. But I am always loyal and feel allegiance to my partner and family. I always have the attitude that I am committed and we are on this journey together. And I certainly don't want to be with anyone else. So that's my 2 cents right now. Oh, they still sound like they're in love though. You don't want to be with anyone else? I think you're still in love. No, I feel like love is just really deep. They just said it all. This whole paragraph is basically love. It's not always constantly the same every day, you know, like things change. You have to experience different things every day. And that's basically just testing your love for that person. Love is rough. I was the one super in love. I don't think he was. Once every 4 or 5 months, we'd have some sort of discussion. The last time, it was that he didn't know if what we had was love. I should have seen that as a warning, but I convinced him to stay with me after an hour discussion. I think he felt guilty. I think he cared for my well-being maybe, but he wasn't in love, and it's painfully obvious now that I'm out of the relationship. Oh, that's what a lot of people say. Like once they're out of a relationship or out of a friendship, they realized how bad it was. Or like they see all the signs they haven't been seeing before kind of thing. Because you know, love is blind. My brother can't stand his wife. Hasn't really been in love with her since about a year before the wedding. He talks about divorce to me when we're alone, but he'll never do it. He thinks he'll never meet anyone else being 32 with no social life. So together they'll stay. I just hope they don't bring kids into it. 32, that's still pretty young. 32 is young. I know people who got married when they're like 40 or even 50 or even like 70, you know? Well, I don't know the people who got married when they're 70, but like 40, yeah, I know. I don't think it's ever too old to do something if you really want to do it and it makes you happy kind of thing, as long as it's something good. How is he going to be like 32? He's never going to meet someone else. Bro, I might start looking for someone when I'm 40. My parents did not love each other but have stayed together because of children. Oh, I think this happens a lot. A lot of parents stay together for the children. Like, I think it has its pros and cons. My boss has been vocal about wanting to leave, but he has kids and no prenup, so he can't afford it. Oh. Well, what's more important, your happiness or your money? I mean, obviously they're the one to decide it, so yeah. It just sort of became a habit, and when I realized I didn't have the feelings anymore, we had 2 young children and I didn't want to break up the family. And later, when we tried couples therapy, this didn't change anything, but our son was diagnosed with leukemia 2 years ago, so I felt we had to stay together until he was well. My ex didn't agree and we were divorced this summer. My son is almost through the treatment and is doing fine. I have not been this happy and relaxed in years, and so far the kids, 6 and 9-year-olds, have coped well with me moving and when they're staying at my new place. I do honestly feel like your own happiness is the most important. But I do feel like it depends on a lot of things. But I still feel like it's just better if you're happy yourself. Because if you're not happy, even if you stay in that marriage or relationship with kids, your kids are going to know that you two aren't happy together and it's just going to make them sad kind of thing. So I'm sure they would want their parents to be happy than their parents to be fighting every day. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know. Being in love seems like a state over which you have no control. I long ago made the decision just to love the woman who became my wife. Fortunately, she made the same decision about me. Romantic infatuation has faded, but our love for each other endures. It takes work to maintain, to avoid taking each other for granted. Love is not an emotion, it is a practice. Ooh, well said. But I think it's both. You know, like it's an emotion and it's practice and it's just life basically. Like love can come in so many forms, you know, it doesn't have to be with your partner. Like you love your kids, you love what you do, you love your job. Yeah, you know what I feel about these kind of situations though? I feel like once you're in love and then you fall out of love, but then you become in love again, I feel like that's when you're really in love, you know? Like you realized everything about them as a person that you didn't see before and then you fall in love again. That's cute. I mean, like, that's deep. Neither of us experience attraction, but we still care deeply for each other. He's my best friend. Also, the marriage was mutually beneficial. I feel like that's love. Like, caring for someone is loving them. Like, I'm just thinking about my parents. They don't show any attraction to each other. Like, they're not like, ooh, you look so good, you know? That's so awkward. But they do things to show that they care about each other, kind of thing. You know, like, my mum cooks for him every single day, kind of thing. Makes coffee for him every time he comes home from work. And then he massages her every night and accompanies her every night. I think that's love. But if you just look at them, you can just totally tell that they don't have like an attraction to each other, you know? Because sometimes they'll get mad at each other for like little things, but they care deeply about each other. But like you don't see them being lovey-dovey, you know? But I don't know if massaging is a lovey-dovey thing because they don't consider that as a lovey-dovey thing. He considers it as a chore, and my mum considers it as something he should do every day. You know, I don't know what it is anymore. I don't know. I am currently in an amazing relationship, textbook true love type of stuff. However, years back, I was in a relationship with a woman who abused me physically and I did not love her. Not for the last year or so when the abuse got bad. So why did I stay if it was so bad? Well, unfortunately, and this is true for abusive relationship as well as for mundane loveless relationships, people get wound up together and then it becomes very difficult to imagine your life without them, even if it's not a good life. I guess people are better at surviving the current hardship than breaking away into the unknown. There's a lot more to my story and every story has its own details, but I think that's the basic answer. You build a life with someone, it gets hard to throw that life away. Whoa. That's deep. I feel like this applies for a lot of things as well. Like maybe work, you know, your hobbies. Like, you know how some people want to walk on a different path instead, but they're afraid to take it because they're just not sure what's going to happen if they do leave the current path they're on. So yeah, this is true for a lot of things. Loved her dog. Oh, they stayed for the dog. Oh my gosh. Ooh. In my first relationship, I thought I had scored the jackpot. I was young and he was young and jacked and smart. He over-glorified himself and I just couldn't see that. I looked up to him as a god, mainly because he kept saying I was bad at my studies and cooking and basically everything that I love to do. I thought I would never get someone better, so thus I stayed. I thought I loved him. I thought that was what love was, but I was just proud that I had gotten someone so amazing. I was stupid. Oh, so because someone else was better at them, at everything they were doing, they fell in love for that. Oh, I can see that happening. But that's so messed up how he would critique everything she loved to do. How dare you? When I was in a relationship with my ex, I liked her, cared for her, been there for her when she needed, and gave space if she needed. I don't know if this is love, but she did none in return. She just said yes, and that's it. She was only physically attracted to me, I guess. I don't think she ever loved me. She broke up with me for nothing. One day she wanted me out of her life, so I left. Oh. She just drained him and left him? That's the worst. When someone drains you emotionally, like you give them everything emotionally, and then they don't give anything in return, and then they just leave you. That's heartbreaking. I realized currently that every relationship I've been in until the current one had absolutely no love in it. I told myself I loved them, but I was really with every one of them for convenience or because they asked me out, and I was scared to say no. The last two ended so horribly. I was scared to leave the house for a long time, and routinely asked guys at my job to walk me to my car because I heard one of them was looking for me. Met my current significant other online, moved 800 miles away to be with him. It'll be 2 years in January, and we just had a baby girl together. It just took a literal ton of pain to get to that happy spot. Oh, you have to jump over hurdles to get to where you are. Oh my gosh, this is like basically everything happens for a reason kind of thing, you know? Man. If only you could just get there without the pain, how good would that be? Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!